What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Grounded 2. In this episode, we're going to show you some of the things you may have missed in the brand new Beta Heat update. So smash the like button, consider hitting that subscribe, and let's get into it. So for the first tip, it is the new hot deposit. So before, when you'd go up to a chest, you have the option to hot deposit. However, so in this chest is scorpion chunks. If I were to hot deposit, the scorpion chunks that I have in my backpack would go straight in there. If I didn't want this to happen, just say I had some armor or something like this, and I didn't want it to deposit, I've had this happen many times. If you look on the bottom right hand corner, you can see a button called actions. If you go into this, and then down the bottom, they now have a tick box called hot deposit. So if I were to press this, you can individually change whether or not things will hot deposit. So if we were to try it again, go up to a hot deposit, and as you can see, there's no matches in the backpack, and when we go into the backpack, it is still there. So this is a fantastic change that they've added into the game, and one that I've actually had problems with in the past, so I'm really glad they added this. So now moving on to the next tip, which is deposit all. So before, when you'd go up to a chest, you can take everything out of a chest. However, you never used to be able to deposit all. So now they've given you the option to deposit everything you have into a chest. Absolutely fantastic. This quality of life change is absolutely fantastic. Another one of those options that I wish they had into the game, and now they do. So moving on to the next one is the change to the orb weaver spiders. So in the past, orb weaver spiders had no fall damage. But as you can see, now they get knocked out when they fall down, which you would think would be a really bad change. However, what they've added to fix this is absolutely fantastic. So now when falling from high places, all you need to do is press your jump button and you will now fly. So now when falling, you can create your own web, creating a parachute, allowing you to float down nice and safely, stopping you from having fall damage. You can also float along large distances, allowing you to get to places that you wouldn't be able to do without this option, which is absolutely fantastic. Moving on to the next feature, and this is a good one for all those people who like to use bows. So in the past, when using bows, if you were to press the block button, all it would do is zoom. However, this only works while you're holding down your aim button. Now, when you're not holding your aim button, if you were to press your block button, he now actually blocks, making the bows a lot more useful than what they used to be. So all the people who like to use bows now can block, which is absolutely fantastic. Another one of those quality of life changes that have really changed the game. So for this next one, it actually involves your buggies. So they've actually added some new creature cards into the game. At first you may think there's new creatures, but what it actually is you can now peep your buggies.
You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide.
So you can see your buggies now have their own creature card. However, it's a bit weird that they put them into the category of like angry and where's the other ones? Into neutral and stuff like that. I kind of wish they made their own little area where it was buggies. Maybe they'll do that in the future, I'm not too sure. But either way, it's an interesting feature that they've added. On to the next one, and this one involves your items. So now when you're looking at an item, it'll tell you how much it's going to heal you and the duration that it stands for. So it will do this for all sorts of items, including your smoothies and your bandages, which is really fantastic because I would have loved to have known this in the past. But the only thing that I noticed it doesn't seem to work on is the mosquito blood sacs. Once again, an absolutely fantastic quality of life update. For this next one, gas damage has completely changed. We now have this new gas called wooziness. So while we're trying to walk forwards, you can see my character is going all over the place, making him extremely dizzy and very woozy. However, if your wooziness goes all the way up while riding a buggy, you will be thrown off your buggy. And then if you're on foot and your wooziness gets really high, you're now going to start gagging, which pauses you in one spot, creating a very dangerous situation. It'll also take your food and water away extremely fast. This effect has also been changed with the stink beetle, which makes armor pieces like the mantis headset and the gas mask, while effective, not as good as what they used to be. Now for the next one, this one involves the water coolers that used to be found in the labs all across the park. While extremely handy, these were unlimited water supplies, making building near a ranger station absolutely OP, which would encourage players not to build some of the things like these dew collectors behind me in order to collect water in the game. So now they have moved some of these water coolers from ranger stations across the park. You don't need to worry while doing the story mode and going quite deep into the labs, as many of these water coolers are still there. While this is frustrating that they've taken away water coolers, this is actually a good thing, making players prepare better while they're going on their expeditions. So this next one's actually a UI change. While starting a new game, they've had a complete overhaul of the UI here, allowing you to see what you're going to get in every single mode. You can see in the top right hand corner, they now have achievements enabled. When you go to creative, they are disabled. So you ain't going to get your achievements while you're in creative mode. However, there is no achievements as of yet in Grounded 2, but this might be a sneak peek into the future, showing you that they may be coming. So for this next one, this is actually in Playgrounds. So before, when you're in your design mode and you went to use your handy gnat, it used to have a limit. However, now when you fly away, it'll allow you to fly as far as what you want to go across the park, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, they used to have this in Grounded 1, and then when Grounded 2 Playgrounds come, they put a limit on it. So I'm not too sure why they done that. However, it's gone now, which is fantastic. And this makes it much easier to build in the playgrounds. So now on to the final feature, and this one involves the Ranger Station. Now when you go into the Ranger Station, for 5,000 raw science, you're going to see a brand new Hot Pouch Upgrade 1. A second hot pouch for your inventory. So for everyone who doesn't know what a hot pouch is, this is what it is. So everything that you assign to this wheel is your hot pouch. By buying the second hot pouch, you'll have a second wheel. This can be very useful to put things like all your weapons in one hot pouch, all your heals in another, things like that, which will be very handy during fights. Which is a massive change from Grounded 1. These hot pouches were extremely OP, making you now have to opt in order to get them. At the moment, there's only one hot pouch, but I've heard in the future there's going to be more. So hopefully knowing these new tips is going to help you out. If I manage to miss any, just write them in the comment section down below. We're going to leave this one here, so smash the like button, consider hitting that subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. See you later!